Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing here today? Welcome to the Trading on the Nadex Platform webinar. My name is Adam McCaden, and today I'm going to take you through obviously trading on the Nadex platform here. We used to call it the new Nadex platform. Now it is the only Nadex platform that is available. But I'll take you all through all of the intricacies of everything. So let's just get started here. Hoping everyone can hear me and see me and everything like that. I do have the chat and questions up here on my second screen. So if you do have any questions during the webinar, definitely feel free to go ahead and ask me. I will try to answer them as they come in and when we sort of get breaks in the webinar here. First of all, we have the disclaimer here. Always got to go through these at the beginning of the webinar. I'll give you some time to read through this, but very basically, this is just saying, hey, trading on Nadex involves risk. Really, trading anywhere is going to involve risk. With no risk, there's no reward. Make sure that you're not putting, make sure you're using discretionary income, right? You're not using your rent money, your food money, anything like that to go ahead and trade because anything you put up, obviously, you can lose. Also, I will be going through placing a few trades on the demo environment today, just to sort of show you functionally how things in the platform work. Anything I'm going to be doing on the platform today is not a recommendation of any trades that you should make. In fact, I'm really going to be choosing contracts and sides at random. So definitely don't take anything that I do on this webinar as a recommendation of to trade any sort of contract or strike or anything like that. We'll give a couple more seconds here to, not sure what I just did there. All right, I think everyone should still be able to see me. I'll give a couple more seconds to read through the rest of this while I also try to figure out what I just did with my screen. There we go. I think it's all working here again. Cool. There we go. Oh, there we have a great picture of me from a time before coronavirus kicked off. So just a little bit about me. I've worked in Nadex for a little over 3 years now. I've been focusing on our products and our platforms the last couple of years. So I've been sort of the lead on our product team and our platform team. So building this entire platform, I've been there from day one, really trying to create a very good environment for all of you to trade on Nadex out here. Just in a kind of personal trading background, I started trading almost as soon as I turned 18, so over 10 years ago now. Feels weird saying that, but I've mostly focused on equities. Got into a little bit of equity options, and then it was really around the time I started trading in Nadex that I got a little bit more into learning about FX and futures markets, commodities, and that sort of thing. So in my personal life, I definitely trade a little bit more equity options, and of course, do not trade on Nadex because no one that works at the exchange actually trades on the exchange. All right, that's enough of the About Me section. So just real quick, I'll go over what I'm actually going to be talking about here today. So we'll go over the just general layout of the actual platform, going through how to place your orders, how to manage your positions. We'll go through the settings. We're really going to be going through like everything in the platform. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat high level just because, going really in depth, I think it would probably go over an hour. Though I am going to save charts for last just because charts are probably the most in-depth I'll go in. There's a lot of little intricacies that you can get into with a chart. So I do know that a lot of people don't actually use our charts to trade here on Nadex, which is completely fine. So I'll save that for last. If you do trade on Nadex charts, definitely stick around for that. And if you don't, feel free to stick around or feel free to hop off at that point. All right, so that's enough of me talking and having a slide show up in front of y'all. Let's get into the actual platform here. So let me bring this up. Here we go. And so I guess we'll just start with how you actually get to the platform. You just go to nadex.com and go to login, or I'm sure many of you have actually saved bookmarked this login screen on your computers. So I will sign in here, hoping I remember the login details for the account I usually use on webinars. There we go. So this is going to be the home screen, homepage of the platform here. you can see right as I jump in, we actually have our all of our products over here on the left-hand side. So this left-hand side is really going to be where you do most of your navigation. If you are interested in getting started, we do have like a little walkthrough video. We also do have some little tutorials that'll walk you through step by step. We actually had to fix the bug with them this morning, so they are temporarily down for this webinar, but should be back up within the next hour or so. So sorry that I can't actually show you it, but in the next hour, if you do get onto the platform and want sort of a walkthrough of your first binary trade, there'll be a little, right here where I'm moving my mouse, a little sort of how-to panel that you can open up and say, walk me through my first trade. So if this webinar doesn't do it for you, that should help you a little bit better. So going into this, how we're going to navigate and find our different products. Obviously, at the top left, we have our 3 different product types. So we have our binary options, we have our call spreads, and we have our knockouts. So I can just click across here to actually see all of the available assets underneath, all the market classes underneath. So let's just start with a binary option here today, and let's go for an indice. So I can click on indices of Forex, whatever I want to trade here, and then I'm going to see all of the available markets with all of the available expirations, all the available time frames to actually trade those markets listed beneath them. So for this, let's go. We'll do a 2-hour US 500. So if I click on the actual expiration time or the actual duration there, it will bring up the price ladder, and this price ladder is going to have all of the strikes that are available currently to actually trade. To actually bring up a contract or to bring up a chart, you can click in a couple places on this price ladder. So you can either click directly on this like strike price right here, right? So kind of hovering over there, or you can actually click on the side here. So either the buy or the sell side. If you do click on the buy or the sell side, you can see it is populating the deal ticket. It is populating the chart as well with that buy or sell side as soon as you click on it. So you can see as soon as I bring this up, it brings up both the chart and the deal ticket right away. My screen is on home screen. That is not good. Are you not able to see here? Let me sorry, let me try to share my screen again. Just appeared. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, if there isn't any lag or you guys aren't seeing the platform or anything, definitely let me know. I just got some feedback in the chat here that it should be working now. It should be appearing. But if there's any kind of lagging, let me know. I know we were having a little bit of technical difficulties with GoToWebinar this morning, so it could be something with that, and we'll definitely try to fix that. So moving on here, right? I have selected my strike. I brought up my deal ticket. We'll go through the deal ticket a little bit here. So as I said, we'll save the charts kind of for later. So first thing, kind of good to notice is we have the indicative price on the top left of the deal ticket. We put it up here just so you can get a good idea of the indicative price versus the strike price, right? So we try to keep them pretty close so you can get an idea of how far away that underlying market is from the actual strike price that you would be trading on. Just as a reminder, that indicative price is going to be an indicative representation of where that underlying market is. So really what that means is it's going to be that price that's displaying on the chart there that you would really be trading around. And we also obviously at the top see our expiration time, so I can see that this option I'm about to get into, this binary option, is going to expire in 1 hour and 48 minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern time or 1 p.m. Central time, which is where we are here in Chicago. So I will get into a buy side contract here. As we move down, we can look at the market depth as well. So this market depth is really just going to show for anyone that isn't familiar with it, it's just going to show all of the available pricing that's out there in the market currently. So you could see these are most likely market maker prices that are displaying. Looks like at least a 2-minute lag time. Oh, that is not great. So I just got in chat. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of a lag on what you all are actually seeing to what I'm clicking on. I'm assuming no one can actually see the market depth that I'm clicking on right now. Let me try to give me 1 second. I'll try to reshare my screen, see if that fixes anything here. apologies on this. I know we were having a little bit of technical difficulties with GoToWebinar this morning and trying to fix those. It's largely out of our hands because it's a, it's a third-party webinar software. But let me try to stop sharing my screen here and reshare. Not sure if this, I'm going to try to keep going on here. Let me know if I'm talking about something that you guys aren't seeing on your screen, and we'll try to troubleshoot it a little bit more. I do apologize that there's not a ton of troubleshooting I can do while live on this webinar. Just changed to 1 hour 47. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are about a minute behind me here. I'm gonna try to keep going through, and I'm hoping it fixes stuff a little bit because I'm a little bit at a loss for how to actually fix this in terms of let me actually try to close out. I might actually have some other screens open here. Give me just 1 second. Apologies for this. All right, sorry about this, guy. Everyone. Hopefully this should be a little bit better. I'm going to show my screen again. I just closed out of some other, a couple. I didn't have much running in the background, a couple Excel spreadsheets, but I did close out of those. So hopefully that's a little bit better. If it was my computer causing the lag. I'm going to keep going on because honestly, I'm not really sure how else to troubleshoot this. Let me know if it's still showing up, but at this point, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to fix it if that didn't fix it at all. So moving forward here, and I guess try to just follow along with what I'm saying, and the recording should catch up. We have our order type on the order ticket, so you can choose your limit orders or your market orders. Obviously, your limit orders, you're putting in a price, and that's really going to be how you put in your working orders into the exchange, right? So you can select your price. Let's say it's trading at 78, 75, but I want to wait until it gets to a better price for me. So 75, I could put that in. I can put my size of 1 in, and I can place the order. For this example, I'm just going to put a market order in because I want to get into the positions and just show you all how that positions panel works. We also see our max loss and max profit here at the bottom. Some of you might be asking, why does it say 99.75 while the buy is at 80? That's simply because I have my my tolerance range set pretty high. I think I have it set to 20, so it's giving me all of that range. If I go to limit, you'll see that it's going to be exactly what I have put into the price spot. So always an important thing to remember on Nadex, your max loss is always going to be what you pay to get into the contract. The only reason this max loss is higher here on the ticket is it's taking into account if that price jumps within my tolerance range before it actually gets me into the market. So I'm going to place my order here, and I should see my position show up here at the bottom. So we see our positions panel here, and I see my open position sitting here. We'll go kind of left to right through these. We can go pretty quickly, and I'm still hoping that some of these issues with the lag have been resolved here. So we do see, first of all, we see our type here. So this right now says binary options. If I was in a knockout, it would say knockout, and of course, if I was in a call spread, it would say call spread. Pretty self-explanatory on that front. Next is going to be the contract name. So everyone should be a little bit familiar, but so binary options are always going to just have that the name of the underlying market and then greater than, and then a strike price. So this one's greater than 3846.0. Going forward, we have the indicative here. So again, we try to put the indicative pretty close to the strike just so you can sort of get a nice comparison that, this indicative is trading around 5 points above my actual strike price right now. The expiry tab is next. So, today at 2 p.m., it's going to give you that date. And then the time left is just going to give you a nice representation of actually how much time is left until you get to that expiration time. My position here. So this one is always one to or one that I think is good to get a little more explanation on. So the position here, obviously, I only have one. That plus sign there is, and the fact that it's blue is representing that I have a contract on the buy side, right? So that I'm taking a long position here. If I had a sell side contract, that would be obviously -1 or 2 or however many I had, and that would be a red marker there. We have the average price, so 77.50. That's what I paid to get in, and then we have the current. So the current is something that I always want to clarify on as well. That current price is going to be the current price for what you could sell out of the contract right now, right? Or for what you could exit your contract. Is probably a better way of actually putting that. That what that means as well is that if I get it on the buy side, I'm going to exit by getting out on the sell price, and if I get on the sell side, I'm going to exit by getting out on the buy price, right? So this price right here is always going to be giving us the opposite side of where we got it, right? So this is displaying the sell side price, and that will kind of move together. And that's going to be where this profit and loss comes in, right? So if you take the average price, you subtract the current, or actually, if you take the current and subtract the average price, that's going to give you either your profit or loss. And so always good to remember about the profit and loss column, that this profit and loss is only your profit and loss if you sell right now, or sorry, if you exit your position right now. It's not the profit and loss if you hold this until expiration, which it's always good to remember because, for example, if this were to expire right now, right, I would get $100 payout. So my profit would be 23 or 22.50. But if I exit this position right now, I'd be losing, 475, $5, because I have to get out at that sell price. So always good, because I know that's a question that we get a lot. So always good to clarify on that point. Just one other thing, so I can see on my chart here, this is going to also give me a visual representation of the position I'm in. So we see here I have my profit and loss. Once this profit and loss, if it goes to once this loss, if it actually goes to a profit, this will turn blue there. I can see +1. So again, that's just telling me that this is a buy side contract, and then above 38.46, that's my strike price. Moving on to the orders position, it is going to be very, very similar, and I will put in a working order here quickly so that we can just go very quickly through this. Let's do a working order of $30. So you would do this maybe if I want to wait until this market drops down a little bit to actually get in. So maybe I don't want to pay 70 for this, but if it goes down to 30, I think that's a good price. I can place this order, and that's gonna, oh, that actually got me out of my position. That is my bad. I'm sorry about that. I had it selected on the sell side and not the buy side. So that's how you exit your position here. This is how you place a working order. So definitely make sure you are paying attention when you are doing that in your live environment or even in the demo. I definitely wasn't paying close enough attention there to the side I had selected. So we see our working order here, very similar to the open positions tab we just saw. Really, the biggest difference is going to be the filled section. So just telling me that I have 0 of these filled and I have 1 really outstanding. If I want to cancel this position, or if I want to, let's say I put in at $30, but now I want to move that price up to 40, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my open positions, my working order in the working order tab here. So that's going to bring up, you should notice it brings up a slightly different ticket here. So I have my delete order and my amend order. Right now, amend order is grayed out because it's still the same, but let's say I change this to 40 and I change this to 2 contracts, I can now amend this order. And now we see I have +2 above 38.46. And if I want to delete, I can click on it again and just delete my working order there. Remember that you can only delete or amend working orders because you haven't actually gotten into that position yet. If you do have an open position, the only way to exit them is to exit at the current market price that's being offered to you. And so I'm going to show that again really quickly. I know I accidentally exited my position earlier. So if I get into an open position here again, and I'm going through that kind of fast, but I will slow down for this part. So I have my one on the buy side here. If I actually click on this it's going to notice how it brings up the sell side for me, right? So it's kind of smart. It knows that if you actually click on your position in the Open Positions tab, it's going to bring up a ticket that's going to allow you to quickly get out of your position, right? So if I had 2 or 3 or 4 buy side contracts here, if I clicked on this, it would actually populate it at 2 or 3 or 4, or however many I have on the sell side to allow me to to more quickly exit my positions here. So I'm going to hit place order. And there you can see I actually got onto my position. I did take a loss on that trade as well as the trade I accidentally exited earlier. That's mainly because of that bid-ask spread that I would need to overcome if I want to start making a profit there. Moving on, we have our 24-hour history here. We do have a more in-depth history, which I will show in just a little bit, but this is going to be sort of a quick reference point history. So this is just going to be the 24-hour, the last 24 hours of trading that you've done, and it's only going to be your order history, not the transaction history. I'll get a little bit more in detail into what the differences are between those two, but very basically, the order history is going to, you'll notice over here, it has all of your orders, and it also is going to have multiple lines per position that you actually enter, right? So there's going to be the order sent, and then that order actually being filled, or the order being canceled, if it actually wasn't filled, like I did earlier with my working order when I deleted it. So moving on, that's really been the working order panel here, or sorry, the positions panel at the bottom here. We've also gone over the deal ticket. Really quickly before I start going through the settings on the left-hand side here, I do want to point out a couple things. So first, we have our refresh button. This is something that we implemented after a lot of feedback asking for it. Let's see, do I have any expired? So I do. I have an expired Germany 30 contract here, and I have an expired FTSE contract here as well, because I was trading earlier on this account, and so it hasn't actually updated that yet, right? So let's say, but if I actually hit this refresh button, it's going to take away this expired one, and it should bring around that 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. contract as well that should be open right now. So hit that refresh. And it brought that up, right? So that expired one went away, and that 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. contract popped up. So if you're ever not seeing all of the contracts and you think there should be more, just make sure you hit that refresh button in the left-hand panel here, and that will bring that up for you. One other very quick bit, and I always like to go over this just because I think it's a pretty important part here. The other kind of cool thing you can do here is these tear-off tickets and tear-off charts. So if I click this tear off ticket button, you'll see it opens up a new ticket in a new window. Loading here, there we go. So it opens up a new ticket in a new window, and it's going to be just the same as the ticket I see here. I can also open up the chart as well. So I have the chart and the ticket, or I can just have the chart. So why is this important? Why would I want to do this? So we do have a lot of people asking for being able to customize your windows a little bit more, being able to see multiple markets at the same time. And this is really how I suggest doing that. That's really why we built this. We got a lot of feedback asking for this. So let's say that I like to trade the US 500, and I like to trade the US Tech 100, and I like to trade Euro Dollar, and I like to watch these markets all at the same time, right? So what I can do is I can open up just any US Tech 100. Let's tear that off. And I can open up, let's go back and let's open up a Euro Dollar. There we go. Oh, those are expired. I can refresh that. Here, Euro Dollar, tear that off. You'll notice it is popping behind my screen when I click on this. What I usually do is I use a second screen for this, but I'm just going to do it on the one here because I'm showing it all to you. So those have been hidden behind my screen, but if I pull them all back up, what I can do, and this is how I trade a lot on my demo account here, is I can set them up. Where's my other one? There it is. Oh, that's not the other one. Which one? There we go. So I can set them up like this, and I can have multiple, really look at multiple markets at the same time. If I hit this price ladder, I can also go back and look at all the expirations. I can look at all the price ladders for the asset that I have, right? So these are all the binary expirations and price ladders for all three of these contracts. So I will often sit here throughout the day while I'm trading on my demo account, have these up, and if I see a price point come by that I would like to enter into, I can quickly hit this and actually get into that position. I know other people that I've talked to that are traders here also will do this with charts. So let's say that I want to look at my US Tech 100 and my US 500 chart together. Oops. I can do that as well. And so I can set up my screens how I want it. I can set up my screens with a lot of different price ladders, a lot of different charts. And this is really how I suggest customizing your screens if you are someone that likes to look at multiple different assets or expirations or that sort of thing at one time. And if you do have a second screen, again, I can't really show you the second screen I have over here, but I generally like to kind of put them on my second screen, set them up that way, and then use my first screen for other things, or to have the platform in general open there too. So I'm just going to close out of my tear-offs here for the time being. So moving on here, let's go through the rest of this left-hand panel. So I showed you, this is where you actually select your different products. But if we move down here, we have this left side panel, and I'm trying to sort of hover over it so you guys can see everything that's going on here. So right now we're selected on markets, and this is going to be sort of the default where we see all of our markets here. If I move down, we have our updates panel. This is going to be where we communicate directly with you guys any updates that we think are important. So things like holiday hours that you see up here. So we have, the upcoming President's Day holiday, not the upcoming Monday, but the Monday after. And we actually are going to be open. This is a little bit of a change from what we've done in the past. We're actually going to be open for a few contracts on President's Day. So if you want to learn about that, you can go in here and see, okay, we're not going to have commodities, we're not going to have indices, but we will have some Forex pairs, namely, it's going to be these Aussie dollar, euro yen, pound dollar, dollar yen. So if you are interested in trading those on President's Day when a lot of the other markets are closed, you can always trade those 5 currency pairs here in those binary and call spread contracts. But again, so this is going to be where we put other messages here that we think all of you may want to hear. So things like refer a friend, we just excuse me, we just sort of relaunched Refer a Friend or made it a little bit more prominent on the platform. So here we're telling you it's, Refer a Friend is here. When we do push a new update, I know you can't see right now because I've already clicked into these before, but there will be a little, like bubble with a circle saying basically, hey, here's a new update. So we do try to make it obvious when we updated this section here. Moving on, we have our live chat button here. So this is actually going to pop you out to live chat on a separate page. We do want to eventually have live chat integrated fully into the platform. We just haven't quite gotten the development done on that yet. But this will pop you out onto this contact us page. And if you want to start talking with one of our customer service representatives, you can click here, put your name in, put your information in. And this is really going to be one of the faster ways to actually get a response if you're seeing anything that maybe you don't understand or you're having trouble with something. This is definitely going to be the fastest way. You can always email us at customerservice@nadex.com. But again, the live chat's probably going to be a little bit faster to actually get a response to your questions. Moving on down here, we have this feedback section. This feedback section is so important. We put it in here twice. This is the part of the webinar where I give my little spiel about please give us feedback. A lot of the things you will see in this platform that are there today, and a lot of things I'm going to be talking about on this webinar today, we did develop because of the feedback that you all left. And we are continuously updating this platform. We're continuing to develop and put new features into the platform. And we sort of prioritize how we're building those features and what order we're building them in based on the feedback that we're getting. So if we see a ton of people saying, hey, we want dark mode, well, that's why now we do actually have dark mode of the platform, which I'll show you in just a second how to put on. But again, I can't really stress how important this feedback section is, and we actually put it in here a couple of different ways to access it, because we really do base a lot of what we do in this platform off of your feedback. We really want to make this the best trading environment for all of you. So please leave us that feedback, and because that's going to be how you anything you want gets into the platform. I'm not going to sit here and promise, just as a note, that every single thing that comes into that feedback section is going to get in, because we do get a lot of it, and we have to sort of prioritize the most requested stuff. But I will tell you that I read everything that comes through this feedback section every single day, as do a number of different people on the platform team here. We get a little report every day that comes in. So people do read these. It isn't just like a suggestion box that you throw it in and no one ever looks at it. We do read these every single day. Moving on down here, we have our settings, and I'll go through these top ones, but just my eyes are kind of getting, I'm a dark mode user generally myself, and my eyes are getting burned looking at this light screen for this. So I'm going to turn on dark mode here, which immediately makes my eyes hurt a little less. This is one of the new features we put in here. So if you do want to select light or dark, it will default to dark mode when you first jump into the platform now. But if you do want to go back to light, this is where you're going to find it in the settings at the bottom left here. I'll go back up to the top. So starting with the top here, we have our tolerance ranges. I'm not going to go super in depth into what these are right now, but very basically, these are the ranges where if you put a market order in, and then before your order is actually processed and matched and cleared, if the price jumps over this range, so let's say I have 5 here, I put in a market order for 80, but by the time that trade actually goes through, the price is 86, that's actually going to cancel your trade and not let you through, right? So it's sort of a little bit of protection for y'all, especially because some of our contracts do move very quickly up and down, and so it's a bit of protection on not getting filled at a price you don't want when you're putting a market order in. If you want a little bit, more leniency, if you just want to get filled on whatever and you don't really care at the price, you can put that up to the max of $25, and if you want to really strictly be filled on the exact market price that you're seeing right now, you can put that down to the low of 1. Going back through, so default order type, you can change this here. Really, all this is going to do is when you open up a ticket, it will either be limit or market. I generally just have mine set to limit. I think the default is market. Again, default contract size, pretty self-explanatory. If I put in 5 here, whenever I open up a ticket, my size is going to be 5. I usually leave mine at 1, just because, I'm trading on a demo, but I don't want to accidentally get in 5 when I just want 1. So I usually leave my default on 1, and if I want to get into more, I just change it on the deal ticket itself. And then session inactivity. This is going to be how long your computer waits to actually log you out. Sorry, not your computer, how long the platform waits to log you out if you go inactive on your computer, right? So if you're not using the platform, you can have it log out after 1 hour. Maybe you set this setting if you're use this in a public place, but maybe if it's your computer that is only on in your work area at your house, you can set it for a little longer because no one's going to come up and if you forget to log out, actually get into your platform, get into your trading account. So that's going to be all the settings here. So we ran down the left-hand panel through the settings. I'll go through the My Account section here next. Just want to make sure that I really hit on everything in this panel, and I'm pretty sure I did. So we'll go to the My Account section. So this is really, we'll go over everything here at the top right of the screen. So first, before I get to the My Account section, we have this platform status. This is actually somewhat new that we just put in. This is really just going to tell you if the platform is operational or if we are experiencing any lags on our side. I am very proud to say that our uptime for this platform is very high. I think it's something like 99% of the time we're at operational with this. If we are though experiencing any lag or any technical difficulties, this will change from operational to something else. I believe it's degraded is the status that comes up if we're seeing anything that's out of the ordinary. So this is always a good place to look at if maybe you're experiencing a little lag, because I know sometimes that can be like on your own computer's and network side, and sometimes that could be on our side. So this is a good area to see this. And if you click in, you'll go to the status page that will give you the status of not only the trading platform, but also, if you're opening an account or trying to withdraw your money, all of these are operational right now, but But if you ever are wondering if you're seeing something that doesn't look right, or sometimes we actually have to halt trading if our underlying markets halt, you can see this immediately here as well. We have our exchange time here. The only thing I'll say about our exchange time, because it is pretty self-explanatory, just remember this is always Eastern time, as are all of our contracts, right? So we keep that as always Eastern time, and we don't allow that to be changed just because all of the contracts are in Eastern time as well, and we cannot change that due to our regulations. So that's why we have this up here. It's helpful for me because I'm personally in Central time, so always a good thing to look back on there and just make sure that I am seeing the correct time when I'm looking at the trades I'm making on my demo account. We also have our different balances here. So I see my available balance right now. This is the demo account, so it's pretty close to $10,000. I've lost a little bit of money on it. And we see our total P&L, so that's 0 because I don't have any open positions. We can also add all of these different ones. You can only have 3 at a time, but you can put your reserved up or your account value up there as well. And let's say I don't know what reserved means. Let's say I'm newer and I have no idea what this reserved is actually telling me. You can actually click this little information bubble here, and it's going to give you a little bit of blurb. Excuse me. It's going to give you a little blurb about what those sections actually are. So for example, reserved, now I know that funds reserved for working orders, including fees. So now I know what that is. And then you can also hide the values. So I know for some of the people that do YouTube videos or that trade in public places, they like hiding these values so people can't sort of look over their shoulder or see their total account balance. We'll go on to our account section here. Oh, I will exit that out. So this is the account section. It's the next section over on the top, and I'll click on that again because I know sometimes I click through this pretty fast. So it's right here on this top right area. That's going to be your account overview. So this top one here, called account overview, it's going to tell you your balances. Right now, I don't have any open positions on. Let's get into an order real quick. Sorry. So if I get into a position here, and oops, I didn't mean to get into 11 contracts, but that's why you should be careful with your trading. So now when I go back here, you should see this bubble showing, and actually I can't see that on my screen, which is strange. I have to look into that, but basically you should be able to see your available balance, your reserve balance. So it'll kind of tell you, it'll break you down inside this circle how much of your account value is allocated to different areas of the platform. So it's a good quick tool to see how much how much you've gotten in, or how much of your account is currently active there. So moving on here, we're going to go down to so residential address. This should be pretty self-explanatory. Is my internet dropping out? Let me know if you guys can still hear me, because it seems like my internet may have just messed up. Let me try to. Okay, looks like it's back. Sorry about that. We are still have audio here with the screen lag still. Yeah, I'm very sorry about the screen lagging. Again, not sure where exactly that is, if it's my internet or if it's I think it's GoToMeeting actually, because we were having some issues with it this morning, or sorry, GoToWebinar. So again, apologies about that. I'm gonna still try to just go through, and hopefully on the recording this shows up correctly. But sorry about that once again. So going down to residential address here, this residential address, it's really going to be, the residential address. Very self-explanatory. You can hit this edit button to actually edit it if you want to change it. Obviously, this is not a real address because Chicago, Alaska is not a real place, at least according to my knowledge, but that's because this is a demo account. Again, we have our contact details, and you can see my contact details are completely made up because it is a demo account. And because this is actually more of a test account for those of you that have your demo that you actually use to trade on. This should probably be correct, because this is how you're actually going to, get messages from us about your account. I have a question in the chat. It's, will you share this recording after? Yes, we will, and hopefully the recording will won't have this lag on it, this unfortunate lag that we're seeing here. So this is going to be where you see your history. So going through this, you can either select transaction or order history. I'm going to show you transaction history quickly. Again, order does have that order sent, order filled, while transaction is just going to be the actual contracts you've got into. It's also going to show you your trading history or your fund history, or both of them. Your fund history is just going to be the movement of funds into and out of the platform. And then you can choose how long you want to see. So let's look at the history for the last 30 days. And I can see my whole history here. It's going to tell me my buys, my sells, my fees, my sells to close, right? If you do want to get a better understanding of what your profit and loss is, what I would suggest doing, because I do realize that this is not the the greatest tool for actually getting your overall profit and loss. We are working on updating that. But for the time being, if you actually hit this download button, it'll allow you to download this as an Excel file. And then once you have this Excel file up, you can do this sort of thing and say, okay, my sum here is negative $1,700, so I lost $1,700 on the trades that I've made. So just a really quick little trick to look at your profit and loss there. Moving on, we have our statement here. Statement's going to be very similar to the history. It's just going to be, it's almost just your history put into a more formal statement. It does take a little bit to actually create that statement. As you can see, it lags a little bit. But then once it's up here, it's just going to give you your transaction history for the last 30 days in statement form. And again, you can just see this in the platform, or you can go ahead and download that there, and that's going to download it as a PDF, if you want this sort of thing for your records. We have our contact us section here. So this is just going to have our customer service line. It's also going to have our address. You can send us, written letters or things in, good old fashioned snail mail. I would highly recommend not doing that, especially during coronavirus time, because none of us are in the office right now. So there's definitely going to be even more of a delay in response to written inquiries. Yeah, I would highly recommend going to customer service at nadex.com if you have any questions, or just using live chat. If you really do have to, though, you can write us at this address, and this is our physical location. Again, feedback. I won't dwell on it anymore, but please give us your feedback. And then we have a refer a friend. So this is actually the newest thing that we've released. We've had refer a friend, but we haven't had it in the platform. So you can actually earn $100 for every successful live account that you refer. I'm not going to go super into the details, but I would highly recommend hitting this Learn More button to go ahead and fully read into the details of when you can get referred, when you can get payout, all the rules around this, around actually getting your payout for this, because there are certain things that you have to follow with this. People actually have to open up their live account fund, etc. If I'm on my live account, there's a little bit more explanation here, but because I'm on a demo, it's just going to actually prompt me to go ahead and open that live account. But this refer a friend, it should make referring your friends a little bit easier. Should give you a code that you can, or a link that you can pretty easily, put into your chat. Or sorry, give to your friends. I'm not sure why I said put into your chat. And then if you want to log out, you have this log out button at the bottom left-hand corner. So that's going to be really the My Account section here. So that is everything really besides the charts. I'm going to go over the charts here now for the remaining sort of 15 minutes of this webinar, for the remaining part of this hour. If you don't use the charts, you can definitely feel free to drop off, but I would recommend sticking around, especially because I think we've made a lot of improvements to our charts from what they used to be. So let me open up here, and actually for right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go open up a call spread rather than another binary, just so I can show you, because each of our products actually do have a little bit different of visual representation on the charts themselves. So let me open this up. I'm actually going to close down, and you guys can see here, I'll actually do that again. When I hit these little buttons on the these arrow buttons, I can actually slide my panels off of here. So I can slide my markets panels away, I can slide my deal ticket and my open positions panels down, and now my entire screen is this chart. And just real quick, I'm going to take off my my indicators as well, so I can give you guys a little bit better view of the chart here. So if I click on this, you'll see actually I have these ranges here. This is going to be the ranges that both the floor and the ceiling range of our call spread product here. So our call spreads are going to look like these, little floor and ceiling areas. And then if you click the sell side, obviously it changes to red, buy is blue. So it gives you that visual representation there again. So starting with the top left of all the different functionality on the charts, you can either almost all of the functionality you can either choose from this top left section on the charts here, or you can right click anywhere on the chart, and that's going to bring up really the same menu that you see. So if I right click, right, that brings up all my options as well. So here, this first one's going to be your different candlestick time. So right now I have it set to 30 minutes, but if I want to see 5-minute candles, there we go. There's 5-minute candles, pretty self-explanatory. And here's going to be where you can select a full range of the time that you want to see, right? So if I want to see the last week of trading on this small cap contract, I can click 1 week. And that's going to give me this this last candle over here. It's going to show me a week's worth of data for this. Moving on, we see our indicators here, which I can either select from this top left panel, but really I like using the right click method, so I'm going to be using that for the rest of the options here, for showing you the rest of the chart options. So we have all our indicators here. I think we have a very good selection of indicators. One of the things I really like here, because I've been trading for quite a while, but there are certain indicators I know like the back of my hand. There are certain ones that I've really never used, so I don't know at all. And I think a lot of traders are like that. So maybe I don't know what, for example, chalk and block utility. Can't even talk right now. Chalk and volatility is. I can go ahead and I can hover over this little information bubble, and it's going to say, oh, okay, well, this indicator calculates vol as a trading range between high and low prices for each period. So it's going to give you a little bit of a blurb. Obviously, not the end-all be-all of information for any of these. And you could, if you want to learn more, we do have some more learning tools on our site, as well as Google is always your friend. But this will give you a good starting point for knowing what these indicators are. For right now, let's throw on an EMA, because I think this is one that a lot of people use. So I click this, we see my exponential moving averages appear on the platform here. If I do want to change any of the color of my EMA lines or the periods, right, because the base periods for EMA is going to be 20, 50, and 100 periods. So and I can see it here. If I click in this bottom left, and it's going to be bottom left for all of our indicators. If I click this little thing right here, it's going to give me options for changing my indicator. So now I can say maybe I don't like 20, 50, 100. I like 25, 60, 120, or whatever. I can change those here. I can also change the colors if I like my own little color setup. I apply, and now I see my different EMA periods. Also, I'll show you another one that's not overlaid directly on the chart. So let's look at RSI as one that pops up below the chart. And again, it's still going to be kind of in the bottom left, and you can change your periods by clicking on it and saying, maybe I want a 75 or an 80-20 period rather than a 70-30. And you can change it there. So you can fully customize, or should be able to fully customize all your indicators, ranges with the indicators, etc. Moving on, we have our drawings. Drawings are going to be very similar to what we offer with the indicators. So we do have these information blurbs. For some of them, it's not the most, maybe not extremely needed, right? So if I hover over text, it tells me it enables me to annotate with text, right? Very simple, but there are some more complicated things here, like Elliott Waves. So if you do want to know more about it, definitely hover over. You click on them, and then you can apply them. And obviously, this is not really how someone would apply an Elliott Wave. I'm just clicking around the charts right now. But that's going to be how you apply your drawings as well. You can also show your drawing toolbar. This is going to pop this little toolbar up here. So if you like to draw on your charts a lot, this is probably the easier way to do it, because it's going to give you all your options without having to go back to that screen. So I can click this, and I can put an oval on the screen, right? If I want to hide my drawings, I can also do that well. I can, or I can delete all my drawings, sorry, by clicking this. I can also snap it to HLOC prices, and what that's going to do is just snap these to these candlesticks. So I generally leave that on, but you know, you can always feel free to. Um, always feel free to turn that off if you'd like. You can also edit your drawings too by right-clicking on them. So you can, you know, you can edit your drawings in many ways as well. You can do your dotted lines, etc. Going down to, we have our types. So these are going to be our different sharding types. Right now it's set on candlestick, which is going to be that default shard type. You can go down to Heikin-Ashi. Heikin-Ashi is going to be a newer one for us. We've had it ever since we've released this newer platform, but we did not have that on our old platform. Very basically, what Heikin-Ashi does is it takes more of an average range compared to just the simple high-low open close of the your traditional candlesticks. And you can see it sort of smooths out the ranges as opposed to those traditional candlesticks. If you do want to learn more, definitely, I think we do have some learning material on our site about what those are and why you would use them. Moving on, we have our line. You know, line should be very self-explanatory. It's a line graph of the charts. HLOC, so the high, low, open, close bars is gonna, and then our mountain, which basically is a line with a shaded underneath. For all of these, you can change. I'll show you in a little bit the customized appearance, but it will change based on which, you know, you can change just your candlestick's appearance or just the Heikin-Ashi, etc. Price here. Generally, if you don't really know, if you don't have a reason for changing this, I wouldn't change it. But what this is going to do is this is going to show you either the ask of the underlying market or the bid of the underlying market or that midpoint price, right? So, or the last traded. It should default now to last traded, and last traded should be the most accurate for what our indicative price is. So if you don't have a reason for changing this, I would definitely leave it on last traded or at least leave it on mid, because I have definitely talked to clients before that have it on ask or bid, and they're asking, you know, why is the price I'm seeing different than the price that's displaying on the indicative? You know, what's going on here? And 9 times out of 10, it's because they have inadvertently selected this ask. You can't really see, if I did candlesticks, you could see it a little bit better that it changed. But just leave it on last traded if you don't have a great reason to change it, would be my advice. Moving down, we have our scale. This is something I think is pretty cool. So let me go back to my candlesticks, and actually I'm going to take this drawing off and this indicator off because it's sort of bugging me right now. So I can delete all my drawings. Going to this scale here. Right now it's set on linear. So what this does, you see here on the the right-hand side of my screen, I have the actual price of the underlying market displayed. So, you know, 2140, 2160, 2180, these are the different, you know, sort of price levels that you can see on the side. If I change it to percentage, I can actually see how much this has moved since the starting candlestick on the right side here. So you can see if I really line it up perfectly with my you know, starting candlestick all the way, you know, the first one on the left side, it's going to line up with 0%. I like using this just because it gives you a nice quick representation, quick visual representation of how much a market's moved since you know, in the time frame you're looking at. So I can very quickly see, okay, the small cap has moved up about 4% from this point. Going down, so we have show here. So this is going to be where you turn on or off different parts of the what you can see in the chart. So we have our HLOC data. I can show that or hide that. What that does is see as I scroll around, there's nothing kind of following my mouse. But now as I scroll around, there's this box that tells me the high, the low, the open, the close, the change. And then it's also going to tell me if I have indicators present, what those indicators are telling me as well. So it has my 25, 60, and 120-day EMA periods as well. My drawings, you can hide or show your drawings. You can hide or show your indicators. You can see those move off. Open positions, again, hiding or closing those. So let me get into a position here quickly so you guys can see this. So if I go back to, if I go back here, so I can hide or show my open positions. Working orders is the same thing, and the timeline here at the bottom, that's just going to be that timeline that goes across the bottom of the screen there. The price changes are just going to be this little the high, low, open, close that you see at the bottom left, and the price line is going to be that line that goes across that tells you where the price is right now, where that indicative price is trading. It's going to line up with the most current candlestick. You'll see I have these little P, O, and T markers here. So this P, O, and T markers, these are actually going to be hotkeys, and I quite like these. So once you learn them, so if I press P here, it's going to hide my open positions. Again, if I press it again, it's going to bring it back. O will do the same thing with my working orders. I don't have a working order on the screen right now. And then T will do that with the timeline as well. And I know I'm talking quick here, but I'm trying to make sure I get through the rest of this in the next few minutes. So bear with me, and I apologize for going a little bit quick. I know the technical difficulties have made us run a little long here today. Moving on down here, one other thing with the hotkeys, you can actually also hotkey your different time intervals. So what that means is I can press 1, I have to actually click on it. It should work. Why is this not? Oh, because I don't have my number lock on. All right, well, I'm having technical difficulties on my number lock right now. But you can also change these with the hotkeys as well for these intervals. Moving on here, we have our layout. So if you have a certain setup that you like to trade, maybe a certain suite of indicators, a certain suite of drawings, you can save those. Adams layouts #1. I can save this, and now if I want to actually go and apply that to a different chart, or if I'm coming in for the first time today and I want to apply all my indicators that I usually use to trade, I can simply apply it there. I can go hit apply, Adams layout #1, apply that, and it will. I know that nothing just changed there because I would have to take this off, but it will apply your different indicators and different things about the layout to whatever chart you are on. And then if I want to delete, it's pretty self-explanatory. I can delete these as well. Going down to customize appearance, this is going to be where you just change your the different aspects of your actual chart here. So if I like, green lines for my candles, for my upwards candles, and I like yellow candles for my downward candles, I can definitely do that. That looks kind of ugly. I can show or hide my grid on the background, and I can change that grid color. And then I can also show the watermark. The watermark is just going to be, it's just going to tell me this is the US 200 and it's the February expiration. So I'm going to take that off. You can also do this for each of the individual, each of the different charting types. And then you can also reset to your default. So pretty, a lot of different cool things you can customize there. And then finally, you can export your chart. And there you go. This is going to pop your chart out into a PNG file. What this does here, obviously just gives you a PNG file of your chart, but I think it's a little bit easier than maybe taking a screenshot of your computer screen, especially if you aren't aware of how to do that. If you have a certain setup that you like that you want to take a screenshot, or maybe customer service is asking you for proof of something you're seeing on your screen to help you resolve any issues, this should help you there. So that's really going to be most of the different charting aspects here. There is one more little charting area that I do want to go over here, and that is sort of this auto scroll and sort of last traded price feature here. I'm sorry, my dog is digging at something behind me. So it's the last traded, and it is auto scroll. So what this auto scroll is, you'll see as I'm scrolling in and out, the chart sort of follows what I'm doing. But if I click and I drag the chart up and down here, that auto scroll kind of breaks, right? It's no longer on there. To get that back, you're going to hit this and it's going to bring that back, right? So also, if you're maybe you're on like a Forex pair and you're way back like a year ago looking at the charting data and you want to get back to the most recent price really quick, you can also hit this and that'll bring you back to the most recent price. So that's really everything I wanted to cover today. I do want to apologize again for the technical difficulties we're having here. I hope the webinar, when we put it up on YouTube, doesn't have this lag. I really hope all of you are able to follow along even through the lag. If you do have any questions, throw them in chat now, and I will do my best to answer any of them. I know we're a little over this hour that we usually take for this sort of webinar here, but I do want to make sure that I give any time to to go through any questions that any of you may have. While I'm waiting for any questions to pop up, because I'm not seeing any quite yet, I'm going to throw up this last page of the kind of presentation here. So this is, if you do want to contact us after this webinar, if you have any questions that maybe you can't ask right now or didn't pick up till later, definitely you can contact us through customer service, or like I showed in the webinar, you can also do through live chat. Those are going to be the two fastest way to get your questions answered. Marketing always does want me to kind of plug this here, but if you do really enjoy trading in Nadex, definitely leave us a review, trustpilot.com. You can follow that link. It does really help us out if you do this. And then there's a bunch of social channels here that you can follow us on, all the biggies, all the goodies. We are on all of them. I don't think we have a TikTok. I think that's the only really big social media one we're not on. I don't really know TikTok that well, but the rest of these, feel free to go follow us there. We do post updates pretty regularly to all of these social media channels, and the YouTube in particular, you will be able to see not only this webinar recording afterwards, but also previous recordings I've done of this sort of webinar and all of the other great video content that we produce. I'm not seeing any other questions come in here, so I'm going to wrap this up. I know we went a little bit long today. Thank you all for coming to this webinar here today. I hope it was informative, and again, I hope the lag didn't really take too much away from it. I apologize with that again. We're having some technical difficulties here today, but I will leave you all with that, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Definitely stay safe out there. I know it's still a little bit of a weird times we're dealing with the pandemic still sort of going on. So stay safe out there. Best of luck in your trading, and I will see you all on the next webinar.